everyone, FPLMattDay here, and this is my Game Week 5 top 10 picks using Fantasy Football Hub's AI. I'll also have my thoughts on each pick as well. If you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and get any comments, questions, or thoughts in ahead of the 5th game week of the season. Okay, so we're going to share screen, and we're going to start off with the number 10 pick according to AI, and it's points predicted for game week 5. And it's Robertson from Liverpool, freshly rested in the week for the Champions League, coming in at £6 million, an ownership of 7.8%. Currently on 4.8 points per start, and he's got a predicted points of 5.4 against Bournemouth at home for game week 5. Now, look, I don't mind this. Liverpool did lose in game week 4. It was only by a goal and it was at home, but you'd expect them to want to tighten up maybe in this one, keep another clean sheet like they did in those first 3 games. And Robertson did get in some really good attacking positions in the home game against Forest. He technically was only a minute away from coming off keeping a clean sheet before Liverpool conceded anyway, and he did get himself in a really good one-on-one with the keeper, and the ball was just slightly overhit by Gravenberch. And if he'd got it on key, Robertson would have had a one-on-one. So I like that. I think 10 is a fair place for Robertson. So let's check our number 9 pick, and we're going to Forest, the team that beat Liverpool in game week 3. In game week 4, sorry, not game week 3. And Wood at 6.1 million, he has price rised, returned in 2 games out of first 2 games of the season. 6.1 million, as I just mentioned, 7.1% ownership, and he's already on 5.3 points per start. Probably someone you could consider swapping Muniz for. 5.5 predicted points for this week, and away to Brighton, who did draw 0-0 to Ipswich, and they did concede quite a few chances. So 9 for Chris Wood, and I don't mind that, especially as that Muniz replacement. Now let's go into the number 8 pick. And this one really surprised me when I was going through the list before I hit record. And it's Dominic Solanke for Spurs, yet to score. Didn't look too fit in the game this week against Coventry, but he looked quite good in glimpses against Arsenal, but probably lacking a bit of sharpness. 7.5 million at 7% owned, 2 points per start so far, but again, hasn't really played. 5.6 predicted points according to the AI, and he plays Brentford at home, who did look very, very strong against City. I found this one interesting in at number 8, and of course I want him to do well, but yeah, I think it's a bit harsh on maybe some other players, but the AI does tend to get a lot of the calls correct. So let's go into the number 7 pick. And this one's probably another really interesting one. Saka at 10 million, 29.4% owned, 7.8% starts. He's got a predicted points of 5.8 against Man City away in a fixture that last season was 0-0. We know Arsenal are going to keep it very tight. They're probably going to want to try and get a goal in this fixture, though, this time compared to last season. And you never know, Saka could be the guy to nick it. But again, I think the AI is being quite friendly to Saka. It's probably using his strong points per game at 7.8 so far. And I think the fixture is probably what lets him down this week. So I think 7th is very, very kind for Saka. Let's go into number 6. We'll find that one now. Scrolling a bit more. And it's a guy that a few people think may potentially have picked up a knock in the week against in the Champions League against Young Boys. It's Ollie Watkins at 8.9 million. 2 goals against Everton, was a really strong pick in game week 4. Obviously, price dropped down to that 8.9 million. 24.8% ownership, 5.5 points per start. And he's got a predicted points of 6.2 at home to Wolves. Honestly, think this is a really good pick, and he could have been even higher up than this 6th place that he is on. Did come off with some ice on his ankle, but Emery's already confirmed that he's okay. So I really like this pick. For me, I think he's got to be in a template front 2 or 3 for me at the moment in FPL in terms of wildcard. I'm going to do an updated wildcard in game week 6 managers that want to wildcard, and he is probably more than likely going to be on there. Some really strong fixtures coming up. If you can get onto him now or even game week 5, he's got some great fixtures. But there is the little bit of, Duran on form in the Champions League as well, but I think he's very well placed in that 6th place. So number 5, Another Spurs player, which is a surprise of late, but it's Son at 10 mil, 8.7% ownership, 5.8 points per start, and a predicted points of 6.3 at home to Brentford. Look, home game for Son. He does tend to sort of score these points when people either have sold out on him or are not sure on him anymore. And 8.7% is quite low for Son. But I think they've been quite high to him to put him in 5th place. So let's go to 4th place. And it's Cole Palmer at 10.6 million, 39.5% owned, 7 points per start, which was highly inflated by the haul against Wolves, 6.3 predicted points. And he plays away to West Ham at 6.3 points predicted, which I have to say is the same amount of points predicted as Son, who is obviously a place below Palmer, but both midfielders, and Palmer's at 0.6 million more. He's been sitting a bit deep for Chelsea, and it's been quite uneasy, I think, for me as a Palmer owner. But I do think they need to push him higher up the pitch. He needs to start getting him, his eye on goal again. And I think this could be a good week for him. I think Palmer might get a couple of returns. West Ham look quite open at the moment, so I don't mind that in 4th place. Let's go down to number 3. And it's Eza from Crystal Palace at 6.9 million, 25.5% owned, 4 points per start. And he plays Manchester United at home with a predicted points of 6.6. I think that's fair. He got a big score in this last season. United tend to struggle in these types of fixtures away. They got hammered here 4-0 last year. So I think that's fair with Eze coming in at number 3. Did blank in game week 4, but he got a score in game week 3. So I think for game week 5, it's not a bad one. So let's go to our top 2. In 2nd place, still Haaland, blanked in the week against Inter. We know Arsenal are going to set up in probably some type of low block like they did against Spurs. He's 15.2 million at 69.6% ownership. Such a high points prediction predicted points are of 7.3 and points per start so high at 13.5. So they're looking at Haaland and they're saying, this guy's going to score and he's going to get bonus because it's a big game. It's going to be the winning goal at 1-0 and he's going to get you 7.3 points or more in 2nd, which I guess on form is probably fair despite the fixture. And then number 1, I don't think there's going to be too many surprises that it's Salah for Liverpool. 12.7 million pounds, 46.5% owned, 10.8% points per start, 8.3 predicted points at home to Bournemouth, which probably puts him as the favourite captain going into game week 3. So that is all the top 10 predicted points from AI, along with my thoughts as well. Let me know what you think of the order in the comments. Have they missed out on anyone in this? Did they get it right? I think they got it right with number 1. I think Ez is fair as well. I think there's a good chance of him getting points, and also Cole Palmer. I think he could be a bit of a hidden gem this week. And definitely Ollie Watkins in there as well. Maybe some of the others, not too sure if they deserve a place there right now. But like I said, subscribe if you're new, give the video a like, and get your comments, questions, and thoughts in as well. I will see you all in the next one. Thanks to everyone that has tuned in and followed my content so far this season, and I will see you all in the next one. I'm FPLMattDay. Bye for now.